How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another episode from the Yeet Federation. Today we have a 2v2 on Burdigala. Gabriel is forming up with Galatia, as he does enjoy Galatia, especially when I go with someone like Arverni. This was a recent one, so I'm hoping it's going to be alright. We're up against Swaby and Slukid. So Swaby brought an interesting army. It's not a bad army at all. A couple of club levies, chevron though, I'm not sure about that part. One, two, three, no, two, four, four units of sword muscles that we can see, and round shields. Now, round shields are brilliant if used correctly, because let's open this up here and we can have a look at the stats. 40 melee attack, 34 weapon damage, and a 24 charge. If you cycle these guys, like Swaby is a cycle faction, like you need to do that. And as for Seleucid, Thorax, 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 and right about in here we have we got some nasty silver shields. So let's get into it. Let's see. 48 minutes, so I'll speed up as and when. But I'm just gonna see how we go. So right now, what's happening? He's taking pop shots in here, but we're going to take pop shots too. He's set it up pretty well, but you can still see there are a few gaps. Primarily this one, easier to see from this side. You got one here as well. This is probably the one that he's firing. But yeah, one down, 3 to go. So the way you can get it to fire like twice as quickly, see how that one's going twice. If you alt click, it will fire your ammunition where you've alt clicked. But then if you go into your artillery piece and fire it manually, you can fire it at a different rate. So effectively, you're going to be getting 2 artillery shots for every one that's being clicked. In case you guys didn't know, it's pretty useful. Yeah, he's doing some damage, but he's also using a lot of ammunition. This was a slugfest to the end. It really was. I like cycling units, but on this one, I wasn't sure on how to do it well. So I just did the best I could. I always refer to Gad if I can. Oh, that's a couple of sword masters off there, I think. Yeah, only 5 killed in the tower though. That's pretty good for him for getting him off in time. Let's speed it up a little bit here. As we're defending, I know we don't come out the back, so we're just gonna let them set up here a little bit, take a couple of shots. Alright, so something I will say here. Seleucid used his archers very well. I really wanted to go up against Swaby, but we thought if Gad's Syrians can take on the Kimbries, we can then get the archer dominance and fight them more easily. If these Syrians get involved against my guys, I'm gonna have a bad day. Like, these guys have no armor whatsoever. That was just a bad day. Like, I wouldn't want to do that. Meanwhile, he's still got some club levy moving to the gate, and this Gad being cheeky is like, okay, you want to go for the gate with your artillery? I'm gonna hide my unit here, so if you break it, you can't get through. Yeah, pathing is really weird. Like you'll see these two coming up here. He actually commanded them to come here and round, just to come and try and counter off the Syrians. But Rome does Rome things. Pathing is always a pain. So right now, good side shots here. Maximizing the damage. I think I called it quite quickly for Gad, so I think he moves it. Yeah, I'm moving a unit onto the wall to try and just push them off a little bit. Threat of Javies. Yeah. 21 kills. Yeah, it's not terrible. But I think Gad maybe could have just rotated the line so he wasn't moving them back, because as he was moving away, they got volleys in the back. So it went for, yeah, it's an extra chunk of kills there that he shouldn't have, that he didn't need to have. So this is, I don't know, like you can tell me guys if you're watching this, if you watch any of our battles and you see us do a screen like this, like let us know, because this is normally pretty good, because as you're attacking, you can fire over it, but as you're defending, as you'll see, it's not always so easy. Yeah, look at this. Straight into the towers. A couple got through, but look at the amount of ammo that got wasted in that tower. Sorry. Look, just peppered it over here. That's waste of ammo. But Gad saw it, so he's trying to move his archers into a different position. I moved my Celtics forward, so I'm not going to be holding up any of his fire. And again, let's see if he can get it second time. No, straight into the tower. So that's what the screen is so good at. Doing the tower burn, again, it's a good shout because it means that when you get inside they're not working against you. And it also means, as a defender, you don't have to focus so hard on defending the choke. If they don't burn the towers, you hold these chokes to the last man. Right? Because these towers can kill hundreds of men. Nice little charge in that. Okay, so this is the other thing. See how with the first volley there, a lot fired behind? They were following the tracking of the unit. So I saw that one come in, I tried to do a little archer dodge. But basically, if you're firing at a unit, they will track where the unit's going or where the unit is. If you're firing where they're moving, they're going to try and fire to where they're going for. Whereas once they're in combat, they're not moving. So always try and wait until you have a static target. Otherwise you're going to waste ammo. I'm not the best at it. Big Kimberly force here. God loves these ladies. I didn't even know the commander was a woman. Burdigala maybe? So yeah, this he's doing well. 114, kicking up, 17. Again, see, that was a little bit of a misclick for me, but doing what I can. I'm trying to hold and get rid of as much low tier as I can because my army is mainly Celtics. This is my Oathsworn. I've got 4 in the back, 1 ready to go up, 1 in the front here, and 1 ready to cycle on that side, so 7 all in. And yeah, Gad is just Legionnaires. 136. So they do well. They swarm, but you guys can see what we're doing. With both the Galatian swords and the Celts, you want to try and cycle as much as you can. Out of the two, the Celts are not as good. So 27 for 40, 32 for 40. And the defense and the charge, 28 charge, 52 defense, 25 charge, 50 defense. So the Celtics are the weaker unit all round. So you don't let these guys, don't let Swaby charge at all. If you see a Swaby charging unit, you countercharge. That you have to. Otherwise, they're gonna get so many free easy kills. Oh, sorry, that was not meant to be on my gen. And again, right here, great shot. But I'm using the Celtic to absorb as much ammo as I can because I want them to use ammo. Pretty sure over here as well. Gad's just trying to get them to dump ammo. Maybe not just yet. Yeah, not just yet. Again here. The gate is open because of the Legionnaire that's there. That's why it keeps pivoting open. It's not a bad thing. Yeah. Nice little charge here. Right, so they're doing really well. They're using the gaps, and this is the problem with cycling. You can accidentally leave yourself gaps, and it can be quite fatal if you don't see them. So you'll see me constantly trying to move units up to block or to hold, and it's yeah. I do what I can. How many kills does this boy get? Only 90? Is it only 90? So Thorax will win the fight against our front line. They don't need to be anything more, but he's bringing up a silver shield, so yeah, it's gonna get interesting. Again, you don't have to cycle charge your own units. Like, communication is so important, as Gad says all the time. So if you see your ally who's been in combat for a while, cycle him out. Let his guys have a chance to get a cycle charge in after the combat. See, I saw him catch, so I'm just trying to reform my guys, but pathing doesn't help. Yeah, these aren't doing well. And again, Salukid, you did brilliantly with your archers, man. Like, one unit of archers, 120 kills, keeping the others back here, spread out, just so he's got the angles if he needs to counter anything. But right here, Gad just pushing them off. And that's the artillery crew already out of ammo. 147 kills, but no breach. Always want to try and make a breach. Yeah, look at this. Straight in the back. Oof, that's painful. And they're not pushing through, they're using the gaps. Like, it is what it is. I've just got one unit here holding so that they can't flood through and try and close us off. But yeah, my front line is not looking too happy. They got swordmasters on the front, a couple of units of them. They've got silver shields. I was looking at this, I'm like, I'm not sure how I'm gonna hold. Gad was just like, yeah, if you can hold them, I can demi Swaby. Yeah. Careful how close you get to the gate. Even if you burn it, like it is now, gate damage 100%. Even if you can get in, you will die to oil. Surprised he's not got more kills than that. It's 120 last time I checked. So this is what I always do. I always tend to use all the archers at once. I'm trying to split them into groups, but look at that. Swordmaster's side, have some of that. Even if it's just chip damage, it makes it's so worth it. Just trying to pin him in place. Stop any charging, that's what I'm trying to do. Oof. Big volley. But Syrian's armoured. 40 armour, it cancels out a lot of damage. Like, continuing to do that, they will get beaten up and die, but I don't know why he pulled away. I don't know why I didn't just pull that one unit away that they're focused on. Because if he'd have pulled away one unit, they would have moved up more to get into a better position and more importantly stop firing. But I trust Gad, he knows what he's doing. Just got Oathsworn to try and hold the line here, and still got a couple of Celtics left. But you can see, like, they've already got the front. Trying to pull into a little trap here. So pathing issue here. There was a bit of lag in game, so I think that's why some of the pathing was messed up. You'll see a few units. So I was just trying to line them up along here and give archers, give Javi play, but I don't think he sees it. As a rule of thumb, we tend to turn Javis off at the start. Oh, nice. Yeah, that Celtic just wasn't strong enough to hold that. Wasn't sure what I could do there. But I see the angle. So I bring up a Gallic. Again, look, split formation. I don't know why this happens. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. Look at that Javi play right there. Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. Javi's from this side. Swordmaster. Oof. Just trying to get my archers into it as well. Running away. So when you see that they're running away and you know they're going, it's fine to fire at them. But when they like stop and start, that's when they start archer dodging. So a little bit of a reset here. So I'm just gonna fire on it. Bad thunder. Don't fire into the shields. I think I see it, yeah. I think he ends up doing quite well. Nothing yet? Oh, dang. I thought my archers were doing alright. Oh well. Yeah, so Gad's already secured the hill of the archers. He's getting ready so he doesn't have to pull back later on. A little bit of a setup phase, so I'm just going to have a little fast forward here. Let me know in the comments as well if you appreciate the fast forwards and things, or if you feel that you're missing stuff. Again, if Gad or I talk too much, or if you want us to talk more, hey, just let us know. We do our best with what we know, but what we know ain't that much, so yeah. Swordmasters are so good. Like, you see Swordmasters, you know they're going to do well. 130 kills and they've only lost not even 40 men yet. That's pretty mean. Yeah, I'll just pull back a little bit this side. I was in two minds of where to hold or what to do. I was just, if they put their archers in the pocket here, I would have tried to hold or do some damage with my archers using these as bait. But I didn't want to risk my Oathsworn to archer fire, which is why I've positioned this guy here, so he can't get side angle, because they'd literally need to take this position to fire. Oof. Glad I caught that. Oof. Damn. That is sword side shot. I think I did call it to Gad, and he was just saying, I just want them to waste their ammo, because if they're using ammo and a Swordmaster, then they're not conserving, which is brilliant. Because this fight, we are at the archer disadvantage, which on defense is a big thing, especially if you don't have any cav to try and take out their archers. Normally, if there's an archer disadvantage on defense, you try and bring some cav to play the fuck around game. Basically, if you don't have the archer fight, you will struggle with the infantry fight unless you can time it and take out their archers. See, that's a bit more of a front shot. Don't know what this guy's doing here, but this Syrian is a bit more front. This guy, he's getting kills. Oh. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so I'm not sure what this is. This isn't a push through yet, but it kind of looked like he was forming up for it. But he didn't charge into combat either. So not terrible for us, but not great for Seleucid. Yeah, I saw the archers moving around this side, so I was like, yeah, no, I'm just gonna move my guys out of this pocket because I think they got 1 or 2 shots, and I was like, nah, not losing that easy. Keeping an eye on your surroundings in this game, like having eyes in the back of your head, is so important. Get this legionnaire out of dodge. Thank you. Didn't doubt you. I didn't doubt you, bud. Playing a cataphract gen. Could do damage if he gets in. Yeah, so Gad here is saying, alright, I need to fall back, pull everything back to the 2nd/3rd hold, because it's gonna be tricky otherwise. And this is when he starts flooding in, because he has neutralized. But does he know that he's neutralized? I don't think he knows he's neutralized. Ooh, 25 them Javi. That was a big Javi toss. Don't forget the Galatian sword. Don't forget it. Yeah, so they could have been a bit more aggressive and pushed around and cut some units off. Whenever you see defenders falling back, I know like everything with an eye they don't see, so they don't know where we are. Where we are? I don't know what that was. But yeah, you want to try and catch as many retreating units as you can, because if they're running away from you, they will die to swords, or javies, or spears, or anything deathly. If someone's showing you their back in the game, you take the shot. But they're just flooding him. So, now a little fast forward. Another setup. Again, it's the thing. It's great to set up, but be mindful of the time. I think it got to this point where we're like, okay, that's half an hour done. We held them for half an hour, and let's be honest, they haven't made that much ground. Yes, they've killed off the low tier majority, but they haven't made much ground into the settlement. That's what you define as holding at the wall. But you know, everyone has their own say. This is normal. Oh, sorry about that. So he's just neutralizing this tower. I will go at this angle. Fast forward. If you fast forward on replays as well, try and keep your camera and your mouse still, because otherwise you're gonna get like lag spikes and things. I think I'm playing the Peekaboo game up here, yeah. But I see they're already out of ammo. You can tell because if you zoom in on the unit, swords are out and bows are away. You can trick opposition by pressing the F key, which is fight or melee, and they will sheath their bows. Just remember before you hit the attack key, turn that back on Although, oh sorry, back off. Otherwise, they'll just continue to do that, and they'll end up charging. Yeah, this arrow tower is doing some work against. So what I'm doing right now to see this red ring, I'm holding down spacebar. It gives you the gauge. So that's the range of this arrow tower. I don't know what this one is. That actually might be the arrow tower. I think that is the arrow tower. It's one of the two. One of the two. He's trying to bait out my archers and trying to discover them over here, so I'm just waiting patiently. Trying to keep 2 archers back so I know I've got full ammunition. My Celtics could end up doing some work against these guys. So these guys have got jabbies, so just communicating and letting them know when they're ready to throw. Pulls away, I get a side jab in, get a counter charge, and he's able to pull back a little bit and re-engage here, take some more jabbies from the front line. Meanwhile, Swaby is doing the hard march round. So there's things that we're looking out here for. So we're like, okay, how many heavy tier does he have? He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units of swordmasters. On top of that, 2 berserkers. Need ammo for berserkers, otherwise they will chew through units. Right here. I can't take them head on, but you can do the peekaboo game. Especially if you've got Gallic Hunters. They've got the stalk ability, which basically gives them better hiding. So if you do peekaboo, see if I can do it here in a minute. Let's see if it's going to happen. There we go. Hit. You aim at one target, you fire. He's watching a lot, which is fine, but he's missed it. Taking that down to 77. That's loads of people that can't fire at you. I try and spread my fire around so they can't get a definitive volley. Yeah. These Celts, don't dismiss Celts. They can do damage, they can do work. It's a bit more setup here. When I get a ability to edit my own videos, I will be doing more edits. But for now, I'm just trying to lead up. Okay, so what I'm doing, trying to maximize my kills with this kill. They've got jabs, but I know if I get engaged, they'll just get wrecked. So what I'm doing is have fire at will on, charge at a target. As you get close enough, they'll throw the jabbies. As soon as they've thrown the jabbies, backtrack. Doesn't matter if you take jabbies in the back, because it's absorbing ammunition. See, it's getting the damage. Yes, I'm losing that combat now, that's fine. He's going to throw them back in, whatever. Yeah, he's scouting around the back here. Need to keep an eye on that. So yeah, he's pulled back through this one, which means that this combat is not pulling through because it's going through your own men. And he's just walked straight into my combat, which means he's going to win that. He doesn't have the charge, which is a 27 charge, but what he does have is the shield and not taking the charge. Don't know why I'm not putting these guys back yet. Taking a lot of damage over here though. So he's pursuing. I'm trying to draw him into jabbies from my ally if I can. He's not, so I'm just going to try and cycle charge. Now if they're static or just coming out of combat with their backs turned, they'll take damage. Chip damage if nothing else. Look at that drop. That was just 107. That's silver shields. They're just 107. That's 17 men lost in the charge from Celts. Again here, see the arrow line? So Gad needs to form up literally like in this line here. Otherwise he's going to get damage from one of the towers. And what you're seeing now is the bad side of cycle charging. You cycle charging a better unit, you're not always going to get those kills. So they've had the chip damage from the first one, went in with the second charge, got the kills from the second charge. 85, lost 2. See, look, it's dropping again. You can cycle charge, you do the chip damage and the kills. So ideally you want a light tier hit first, do the chip damage, pull them out, hit him with your heavier. That's extra kills from the extra melee and the charge. And then cycle back in with a weaker unit, mitigate that damage, and yeah, it's lots of micro. If you can micro units incredibly well in this game, you will be an incredible player. Sluka does well. Sluka is a good player in this. See how Gad just caught that charge just at the end? Even by a little charge, you cancel out each other's charges, so no one gets the charge bonus. So it just comes down to better unit and numbers and things like that. But Swaby has gone full army around the back, which isn't a bad idea. Remember, this is the VP. The only reason I have my Oathsworn here is to be a safeguard for the archers. I don't know what I'm doing right now. Oh, my archers. Move my archers into the pocket. So yeah, he charged. Okay, counter-charged. However, there are sword masters, and these guys, oh, they just love killing people. They didn't charge. Roam pathfinding, everyone. Now, that people would say that's a bit of a pull through, but that unit was already breaking, and once it's routed, it's not in combat, so you're not pulling through. Sluka is just going to be still on the front, so I'm just going to watch this in the back. Archer fight going on. Ooh. How many were they at? That's like 50 with one volley. Kimbries. Good killing power. Again, ain't got no armor. I'm pretty sure Gad shifts targets now. Yeah. Chip damage. If you can keep doing chip damage and refocus your... Again, Slukid. Great play here. Sees Gad focus. I call it out because I'm watching Slukid. He's just wanting to use this one. Yes, he's still got ammo, but he's also wanting to use him as a target. Don't let your archers die. So these guys don't get many kills because this is shield. Okay, this is the difference between shield and sword. If these guys were facing this way, opposite way around, and I was hitting sword side, I would probably kill both of these units and have ammo to spare. It's literally that much of a difference. Syrians come back up. Archer fight. Like, Gad did so well to take so much damage and deal so much damage on both lots of archers. So that's all of the Kimbries out. So now he's going to focus on the other Syrians. So yes, this is backshot, but it's still shield as well. See how they're not dropping. 2 units full volley. And I'm pretty sure that already had like damage to the unit before it went in combat. 1 kill. 1 kill. Shields save lives. All I'm trying to do is chip damage and morale. If I can make them lose morale, then these legionnaires are going to last a lot longer. And all Gad's trying to do is use up ammunition. Not his, he's trying to use up the other boys. Don't know where these guys are going. I think they want to die. What are you doing? We brave few. Oh. How many spears did he get to? Oh my god, 2 through the eye. I let him take the charge, and I threw in my lowest one to counter. I did say to him to pull out, but no, let's be honest, he's got a lot of macro over here he needs to do. This is not a pull through, this is a great gap spot. This is a fantastic gap. I'm calling it to him, and I'm just saying, like, pull your stuff from the front, let me focus on the front. Like, trying to use whatever support I can for him, because Swaby, again, need to cycle Swaby, but Swaby is king of the charge. I don't care who you are, Swaby will work you to nothing if you let them charge you. Trying to cancel out. Right, this is the thing. Try to let the heavy units charge and use their charge up on a weaker unit. Yes, a legionnaire is a weaker unit in this case. If you can make that happen, this is when it's going to negate it. But if you can let them use their charge up on a weaker unit, you get instant and you do work. Don't know what's happening here. So I get some notifications. Pathfinding in Rome is just so magnificent. This guy is getting hurt, but he's facing off against Silver Shield Swords and Sword Masters. I always try to hold back the headhunt for as long as possible. Let them use the charge. Let all that bonus of the charge wear off first, and then go. And yeah, cycle your Oath Sworn as well. It isn't even for the kills, it's just to cancel their damage. Like their opponent's damage. Hey, don't be scared of cancel charging. Don't know what's happening here with this Oath Sworn. I've been told to focus on Berserkers. There's a Berserker with 2 units of Swordmasters. This is a dangerous combination. Like I said, like this is a brawl to the end. I'm just trying to cycle everywhere. And Gad is just killing me. Gad does Gad. So when I'm winning decisively, I'll try not to cycle. As soon as I see another unit charge, oh how I wish we had artillery. Oh my god, that would be juicy. Imagine a fiery ball of justice in this lot. Oof. I'm sorry, I just enjoyed myself there. And also try not to go through your teammates. Archers, like that's... But he's doing this so he can try to cancel out the berserkers. Which is why I've got my Oathsworn in there. Again, not getting the best kills, but he's holding so much stuff. I see archers. I fire at archers.
Back! Live to fight another day! Warriors, move out! Kill, kill, kill!
Like, this was generally one of like a great fight. I was gonna say one of the best, probably one of the best 2v2s that I've had in a long time. I think I lose this one right now, but I'm just using him as a stopgap. Use your jabbies, boy. Use your jabbies. Yeah, I was gonna go after these archers, but then I called it to Gad, so he's gonna bring his general around. Meanwhile, I need to hold these sword masters. He's seeing gaps. This is great, but I also did this move to try and get sword side shots. Even though it's not a full back shot, that will still drop them because there's no shield. Difference in damage. Incredible. I used another one as bait. Not advisable, but I did what I had to do. The reason this Galatian Legionnaire is now winning is because these units are all engaged and they're all exhausted. That's why they're winning. He's going through here again. Swaby, reform, use the gap. Great play. Great play. I didn't spot this. It wasn't until he was pretty much into my archers that I spotted it. And again, that's just pathing. That wasn't because he was in combat. Just tried to turn to face them. Just tried to turn to face those Perifrax. Damage they're doing, man. So yeah, I've just been trying to cycle as much as possible, hitting battle rhythms and refreshes. Your abilities from your generals are so important. Like, silver shields are very, very good units. I was scared by those ones. However, yeah, you can see. He's not a bad player. He's not a bad player at all. He should have gone through here. He should have narrowed up and come through here, hit this guy in the back or hit him in the back. But instead, he didn't form up properly. See the difference. Hugging the building, but he's getting through because he's narrow column. When I'm through, I'm through. That wasn't a push through. There's nothing to push. I saw this a mile away. I was like, nah, I'm not having that. Although, yeah. These guys didn't have much ammo left. They didn't have the best kills, but you know, I'm just chucking them to try and slow up the horses while reinforcements are on the way. By reinforcements, I mean pulling all their archers, yeah. He's using these guys really well. Like, my hat is off to all these guys. Gad is now cleaned up in the back, so the full force of Glacier is going to come to bear, which is exactly what we want. Two more Oathsworn and a Legionnaire from this side, going to sandwich both the gens. Meanwhile, cleaning up on the front line. My gen is popping off, 200 kills, 200 kills from the next Oathsworn, 200 kills from this Oathsworn, nearly 200 kills from this Oathsworn. Front line, 800 kills. Ooh. That's what I like to see. 135, 166. Yeah. It's, and that's game. Oh no, it's not. I apologize. This goes back to the end. Now it's game. Alright, so let's have a look at the kills and the army comms. So, Gadget with Galatia. His archers did fantastic. This one was a bit of bait. His legionnaires could have done better, but he was getting cycled hard. He said at the end, yeah, I got decimated. Like, Swaby did so well. So 3 Syrians. What's that? 400 kills between them. Yeah, standard build. We've got myself, top kills. I was surprised at this. I didn't think I did that well. Pardon me. 2 archers did phenomenal. 2 didn't. These were the 2 that were firing at the swordmasters. On the shields, you can just see, just didn't do the damage. To get as many O1 as I could, bring the kills. Next we have Aureus with Seleucid. 3 Syrian heavy archers, 1 Persian light. Then we have a Hellenic Caliphate General, 2 Hillmen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of silver shields. As good as these guys are, I would probably switch them out for Royal Peltists. You get 3 or 4 Javies instead of the 2. You get the extra charge and damage. Silver shield defense, the best. Attack, not as good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units of thorax. 2 thorax did great. The others just did not pull their weight. That's unfortunate. Then we have Empire NN as Swaby. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units of Swordmasters and 2 Berserkers. This saved us because he didn't cycle charge. No matter what unit you bring as Swaby, cycle. The only units you don't cycle with Swaby are your archers and your cav. Other than that, you cycle everything. But yeah, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Let us know in the comments. A like and subscribe would be absolutely amazing. It lets us know that you like seeing what we're doing, and if you want to see more roam vids, slam in the comments. Roam. Hit it up. Let us know. We're a group. We'll put up as much content as we can, but we need your input so we know what we're focusing on. With that being said, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in another one from the Yeet. Peace.